Hey there, YouTube. Going to do a quick review here on what they call the best beginner motorcycle ever, and we're going to figure out if that is true. The Ninja 250. This one's a 2007, and these bikes have been around basically unchanged. Well, they were unchanged from 1989 till this is the last year, 2007. Mechanically, body-wise, all the same thing. They did a revamp in 2008, but this bike is a two-cylinder, 250cc, with a 13,000 RPM redline, and I think around 30 something horsepower. Now I've been riding this bike for a little while, just getting used to it, and I'll give you my interpretation of it as someone who's been riding for a long time. But that said, this bike is not for me. This bike is for a new rider. So if I gave it a review with how I'm looking at it as someone who's ridden for 30 something years, it would not be a very fair review for this bike. What would be more fair is someone who is a new rider, like my son here, who has never ridden a street bike before. So this is going to be for his first time riding a bike on the street. This is my son Chris. He's been riding dirt bikes since he was 8 years old. He's 15 now, and he has never driven a street bike. I will tell you that the power on this bike it's low at low RPMs. When you get going, if you get it to like 10,000 RPM, it has a little bit of a punch. It would probably, it redlines at 13,000. I will tell you at 50 miles an hour, you're running 6,500 RPM. So this thing will redline at 100 miles an hour. I think it would get there. It got to 85, no problem when I was on it the other day, but it's uncomfortable. The engine's screaming at like 11,000 RPM at that speed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop on here. Chris, you've never ridden a street bike, have you? He's never ridden on the street before, and this is his first time. So we're gonna see if this is indeed a very good, easy bike to learn on. All right, Chris, why don't you hop on the bike? Fire it up. This is a 6-speed. Want to put your helmet on first? All right, Chris, how tall are you?
5'6".
So he's 5'6" and about 115 pounds. As you can see from the size of the bike, it fits him at this size very well. This bike is definitely made for shorter riders and entry-level riders. Okay. So you see you have a neutral light, oil pressure, high beams, blinkers, temperature gauge, RPM, and a speedometer. And it's starting to rain, of course. All right, it will, just so you know, your kickstand is down, and that will turn the bike off when you let the clutch out. All right, I'm gonna hop on my bike and I'll follow you. Just do a quick little turn around the neighborhood, then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. All right, I'll follow you. All right, so here we go. His first street ride ever. And of course it starts to rain. right, so here we are back after our little ride. Chris, first time you ever rode a bike on a street, what do you think?
It was fun to ride.
So what did you think about it? How about, I know you've had no other street bike experience, but are you comfortable on it?
Yeah.
What do you think about the power?
It's quite powerful, but you don't need to put all the power in to have a good ride.
Okay, and do you think this is something you would want to learn how to ride on? Like, could you spend an entire summer and this would be your bike to learn on?
Yeah, because you don't need, for a first bike, you don't need 150 miles per hour to ride.
You know what? You're exactly right. You don't need a 150 mile an hour bike. This is, as you can see, Chris is not the biggest person in the world. Like, he's 5'6". Put your feet down, sit it up. He has his feet are bent, and actually he has a great position on that. It's actually a very good size, and it's pretty lightweight. I don't recommend this bike for highway riding. Like I said, I got it up to 85 miles an hour. It was screaming. And even at 65, you're running, about 8,000 RPM, which just seems a little frantic on the highway. But for around town, I've put 40, 50 miles on this thing this week. Just driving around town, driving around the neighborhood, getting groceries. And it's a fun little bike. I personally think I would, at my size, I'm 5'11" and 225 pounds, I'd probably make my first bike, if I was learning how to ride, a 600 to 750 cc-ish cruiser, probably more than 600. The Yamaha V-Star 650, maybe the Honda Shadow 600, which I have a friend who just bought for his first bike, and I'll do a review of that shortly. But if you're smaller, if you're younger, if you have a short inseam, this really could be your bike. There's a reason they call this the best first bike ever. And if you get on it, it's pretty peppy. Chris, any final thoughts?
Nope.
Do you wish you were 17 and you could have a motorcycle?
Yeah, I wish I wanted to go so fast on this thing, bro. It's so tempting.
All right, so there you go. First time ever on a street bike, and he does recommend the Ninja 250. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.